A happy Sunday afternoon, everyone. Hope you had a fantastic day so far and rounding off your weekend nicely. We're here to bring you all up to date with the Manchester United news floating around. We got a big update on Antony and a bit apparently in from NASSR. We will talk about that. So Benjamin Sesko's preference as both Manchester United and Newcastle go head to head. We know that there is a fight between both clubs for Cesco, but he has made his mind up on where he would prefer. Updates on that along with all of your comments. We'll keep an eye on the England final as well. It was an awkward one today, when to go with the live show, what to do. We're hoping we can get the show done, then settle down obviously and watch the second half of the England final against Spain, because I think that's when all the action is going to be in that one. So if you are into your women's football like myself, then obviously let's get this show done. Let's get you completely up to date with all the news, and then you can concentrate, sit back, relax, open up a beer and enjoy the football this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are. And again, it is all around the Benjamin Sesko news. But first of all, I've said this before, I think I teed it up actually, in the fact that I said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe last night would rather buy Benjamin Sesko than Ollie Watkins. Look, the news wasn't there. I made it up, as in my opinion on this, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe said that he didn't want to buy Emi Martinez, and I don't think he's going to sanction a deal for Ollie Watkins because he's too old. I got into that last night, and I think it's actually starting to turn around. But we'll bring you up to date with the Benjamin Sesko news shortly. But first of all, Antony. This has developed rather quickly. Now, first of all, the news came out earlier on from Santillana that a bid has been made for Antony. So the way it works is, in this one, El Nazar, Cristiano Ronaldo and Jorge Jesus team are interested in signing Antony. This is the same club that has just bought João Felix from Chelsea. They want another player. I don't know how many foreign players they've got left that they can choose. There's a certain number of players that they can have. But the Al Nassr signalled a purchase offer for the player, but has competition from European teams. And on this one, Manchester United actually, are asking for 50 million. Now that's come from UOL. That's the Brazilian outlet. Now what Santillana was saying earlier on was even more interesting regarding the Antony situation and where we're actually at. So this was significant. His words were, understands that Al Nassr have sent a bid to Manchester United for Antony. Al Nassr want Antony and João Felix. So anybody asking the question around João Felix, why would they want Antony to get in him? They're the two players that they want. They want Felix and Antony, and they're the players that they want to push forward with. It's Foot Mercato who has said it as well. If we look into it and try and translate the actual piece itself and what's actually happening, this is what's been said. The Saudi market continues to boom, while Neom have already invested heavily in the French league with the arrivals of Lacazette, Bulka, Kone, and soon Nathan Zizi. Al Nassr are about to make a big splash with the signing of João Felix, with whom a 2-year contract has been agreed. In addition to the Portuguese player, Cristiano Ronaldo's team continues to explore Europe. According to our sources, Al Nassr have indeed made an offer to Manchester United, the amount of which has not been disclosed for Antony. The 23-year-old Brazilian winger returned from a successful loan at Betis this summer and remains tied to the English club until 2027. UOL recently claimed that the Red Devils were expecting at least 60 million to release the Brazilian international. Now, both of them, as in João Felix and Antony, that puts that to bed. And that was the killer question in all of this. When I seen João Felix sign for El Nassr, I was like, God, there goes another club managing to get a player out of the door, and Manchester United miss out. Why can we never sell our players to the Saudi Pro League, where everybody else does and gets massive amounts of money for them, and then are able to balance their books because of it? Manchester United, look, if we got 50 million for Antony, well done, Man United. Well done. Like 3 years into Antony's contract alone and getting 50 million back off that massive purchase that we put on him back 3 years ago would be a mega deal. The way he's performed to get 50 million is even bigger. And that would open up all avenues for Manchester United. And again, I used this example before, using the Antony potential sale of Antony against the potential signing of a Benjamin Cesco. More on him, obviously, in a minute. But this is what Manchester United need to do. Are they confident that something behind the scenes is going to happen so they can go into significant talks with another player that they want to buy, i.e. the striker? That, I think, is the main thing in all of this. But all of these reports are coming out and saying exactly the same thing. Bid made, bid made. Now, we don't know for certain. I would probably look to Ben Jacobs on this one because he is obviously well up on the Saudi Pro League like we've reported before. So we'll see if Ben Jacobs comes out with anything in terms of offers or bids. We know for certain that there is a definite agreement in place for João Felix now. If United manage to sell Antony to the Saudi Pro League, that would be, I would think, probably one of our best bits of business this summer. Because, like I said, obviously that does give us the room financially then to move forward for other deals. But this is really interesting in how this is actually broken down today, because we've heard rumours that Antony, first of all, yesterday and the day before, with his agent talking, would be interested in moving to the Saudi Pro League. And a lot of people and journalists do know a lot about Antony. I know his agency group. And I've had a lot of contact in. I know for certain through personal experience on that. I'm not going to mention names or who it is for just to throw that out there. I just think at this point I'm looking at the people that are talking about this potential move, and I know that they've had dealings with Antony before. But when you look at that news coming out that his agent said he would be open to it, then journalists coming out saying he would be open to it. They're looking for the best solution all around. I made the point last time, I think it was a couple of days ago, that maybe he's got the go-ahead from the likes of Ancelotti to go to the Saudi Pro League and play football and still have a chance of featuring in the World Cup for Brazil. So if he's got that and he's got that reassurance, then that should make it a simple decision for Antony, and he can move away to the Saudi Pro League, have an absolute ball, earn a fortune, obviously secure himself. He's still only 23, like that's just said there in that piece. Wow, a 23-year-old heading out to the Saudi Pro League. If he signs like something similar to what João Felix has there, a 2 or 3 year contracts earning absolute monster money, then you're really looking at a player then set for life. And then he'd probably end up coming back to Europe, still in his prime, and able to move on again. But again, all United should be thinking about here is them and Manchester United's bank accounts. That's all that's important right now. It doesn't matter where Antony ends up, as long as his wages are off the book and we get our money back or we clear the debt as such. And United asking for 50 million, I don't necessarily think that that's the bid that's gone in, by the way. And I'm still open to 35 to 40 million and Antony gone, because that's still massive for Manchester United. So that would be a massive... If United get anything over 40 million, like I just said then, like that is good business. That's mega business for United. It does. And I said this before, and people have always continued to ask the question, how does it open up if we still got to pay for Antony? Look, if Antony's gone, United can buy somebody else. That's all we need to know. Because of the money that United are forking out year on year for Antony right now, with that off the books, along with what we're saving off Marcus Rashford already, that gives United so much more scope. And I said it before, these players that are wanting to get into the World Cup and wanting to feature for their national sides in 2026 are going to start pushing for these moves and trying to get them over the line quickly so they can start the new season. And I think Antony is definitely an example of that. And I think this is where we're starting to hear so much more now and get more information come out about Antony actually being a real target, first of all, for the Saudi Pro League. Then there was 2 clubs in for him. We found out yesterday that one of them could be NASSR, and then today we're hearing that they've now actually made a bid through Santiana. So let's wait and see what comes out from this. But this is very, very interesting for United, and I think is really good news for all Manchester United fans. Are you confident that we are actually about to get rid of Antony, everybody in the chat? Do let me know and talk to me. We're going to get in there now and get your thoughts on this one. Starting off with a couple of super chats straight in there from the get-go. Cheers for that. Corrupt says, if Sesko genuinely wants United, it will happen. I'll get onto that in a minute. Farnstar with another super chat. Thank you, my man. Chelsea King of Sales. Let's be like them. 50 million, please. Look, United, like Ruben Amorim said, I've got a figure in mind for Antony. There is a price on the heads of all of these players that we're looking to sell. And if them players' prices are not met, then they will be Man United players next season. So let's see how far they're willing to go. I'd be really intrigued to see if, first of all, what Santillana said is genuine and there is an offer in place. We will wait, like I said, for news of more creditable journalists. Not saying Santillana isn't. He is well known and is followed by quite a lot of the creditable journalists out there. But again, I would love to see a little bit more confirmation on it and then see how much it actually is and how much we could possibly be getting for Antony. I think that's the big one in all of this. And I think that's what most people are like, well, is this going to help us going forward? Is this going to give us what we need? And yeah, it really is. I think with Antony money in, I think United then go all in for the striker that they want. And it will be a striker that will cost Manchester United a fair packet. But they have got the money then in place to actually go and get this deal done. So there we go. Let's just see how this now develops for Manchester United. Hopefully it's all genuine and real and we will report on it again. And I will be back later tonight if anything does break, by the way. I know this is an earlier one. I was stuck right in between the final and when to do it. So yeah, with working late last night as well for the watch along and then the free shows this morning also already on the other channels also. It was a lot, so fortunate. Let's get it out at 5. People can listen along. The women's final could be on in the background. The cricket's on in the background. All of the other sports at least will be done and out of the way and get all the news completely up to date for you all. And then you can sit back and relax and watch all of the sports. And if we do get an update later on, I'll be back again. And that's just the way it goes with this news right now. I think we're going to get updates constantly, daily, always now, going into this last month of the transfer window. Like I said, we're into August by the end of this coming week now. So it's going to be interesting to see if United try and play hardball with any offers that come in. Because if this is true, this is the first significant offer that we've had for any player, as in a transfer fee. That, again, is absolutely crazy, isn't it? But this is why I think United will take it seriously, because first real bids come in and then you obviously look to try and make as much as you can out of it and maybe try and squeeze that little bit extra if you can. Because anything extra on top of 35 million for Antony is going to be profit for Manchester United on the books right now. And to see the back of Antony, who was thought of one of the biggest transfer mistakes of all time, and actually earn a few quid after what we've already paid, that's good for United. That's very, very good. And the start of a real turning, like 2 down, 3 to go if Antony is sold. And that, I think, is the most important thing as well for Ruben Amorim, because he doesn't want to take Antony back. He doesn't want him in his squad. He's made that clear. He'll have to if no one comes in for him. So let's make this happen, Manchester United. Even if it's a low ball offer, let's just squeeze a bit more and let's just get this deal done. And get Antony out of the way. That's all that needs to happen now. Obviously, making sure you make money as well. Like, if they come in with 20 million, you can tell them where to go. But the Brazilian outlets are saying, and everyone has been talking about this, Manchester United value Antony at 50 million quid. Let's see who comes in with that. Let's get a few more comments in also as well on this. Are you confident that it can happen, people? Hopefully Saudi bids 40 million plus so that it becomes easier to recruit Cesco. That is Cesco money right there. It is, with the wages covered and saved as well. Silverback says, he's just saying hello to people. Sorry, you carry on there, Silverback. Don't let me interrupt you. If Antony joins Saudi, I'll join his fan club, says David. Denver says, Felix is trash. They are paying 50 million euros. You want 35 to 40 million. I give up for United fans. Look, I don't know why you're giving up for United fans. Don't worry about us, mate. But in terms of what we want, like I've heard that it's 30 million for João Felix. That's what I've seen broken around. If United get that much, as in what they want for Antony, then we are moving in a very, very good direction going into this last few weeks of the window. It puts us in a great position to go into the Benjamin Cesco situation as well. And I think that is key in all of this. We will bring that up in just a moment. Let's get a few more comments in first of all. Antony sale would be great. It would be a great achievement, says XVXML. Shakor says, good evening, my buddy. Realist? Oh, he's talking to someone else. The realist is in the house saying hello to everybody, I think. Let's get some more. Watkins, 16 goals last season in the world's hardest league. Cesco 13. If Watkins got United UEFA Champions League, that pays for him, not for the sale though. Well, yeah, you're right. You are dead right on that one, mate. I've said this as well, Goldstar. This is my preference. Still is Ollie Watkins. I like I said last night though. I just don't see Man United and Sir Jim Radcliffe sanctioning a 60 million plus bid for Ollie Watkins. I just don't see it happening. And yeah, it is something that I think I've stuck by and always used as the yardstick for gauging where INEOS are at with their transfers. I just don't see them going above and beyond for players of that age. It all comes back down to that Casemiro deal. I'm bitching and moaning when they first came in about this deal and why anybody would buy somebody for that amount of money and pay him that much in wages when there's no sell-on factor and there's no future for him. It just goes against it. Benjamin Cesco is everything that INEOS want. And I said it last night. The big thing in this will be Vivel. Not because he knows Leipzig and because he knows people there and knows Sesko. No, not because of that. That all comes with it, of course. But I think they're trusting in Vivel because he's their man. He's their head of recruitment that they put in place at Manchester United, and they're going to back him. And I think that's why we will end up getting Benjamin Cesco. I haven't got a problem with it. I would have preferred Ollie Watkins. That's all. But we do need another striker, and we spoke about it this morning. Newcastle are in a strong position, and we're seen as favourites. But the news that is coming out at the moment, and this is where we'll move on to the Benjamin Cesco situation, because it has gone past this. Also, as well, Sam has said that Benjamin Cesco is open to a move to Manchester United despite no European football. We did already know that, but he has also said, and this has come out from a couple of journalists now, regarding the situation with Benjamin Cesco. Manchester United and Newcastle have registered their interest in Benjamin Cesco. No negotiations with both clubs yet. Benjamin Cesco would rather move to Manchester United than Newcastle. Now, a reporter can come out and say that easier than saying that there is a bid on the table. We've seen this before. We've seen it with Jadon Sancho, that bids in closer than ever, closer than you ever can imagine us, and all of that jazz. And it comes to nothing. But journalists on a personal side, or might have spoken to him before, or have an idea of what his plans are and what he would really love to be doing later on in his career, have said that he would prefer a move to Manchester United. If he could choose right now, it would always be Manchester United. But like the report says there, and like what Romano said obviously earlier on today as well, when we covered that from his piece last night, is that Manchester United are talking internally and still no offer. The same report says exactly the same. But Benjamin Sesko has said yes to the Manchester United project before, and that's been another report. And now this one on top of that saying he would go to Manchester United ahead of Newcastle if the bid came in. He would be happy to work with the Man United project ahead of the Newcastle one, even with, like Sam says there, without Champions League or European football. That is the big thing. If he's willing to come to United, then that's a player that Ruben Amorim, that Omar Barada have both come out in public and said Manchester United would be going for. He's not bothered about Europe. He wants to move to a project he believes in. He would go to Manchester United and wants Manchester United. If he comes out and says, like Cunha, like Mbumo, I want to go to United, I expect Man United to make the deal happen. And that's how I feel the situation is going to pan out. Excuse me. So, yeah, that was the update on Benjamin Cesco above everything else. And again, the different stories. I'm seeing about 5 or 6 different journalists on the Antony side of things now talking about that bid, an apparent bid coming in from NASSR for Antony. It's an interesting one, this, because it's a playoff that I think would thrive in the Saudi Pro League in Antony, but nobody cares about. And nobody cares because all anybody's bothered about when a Saudi deal comes around, no one tracks them, no one watches them, no one cares about the Saudi Pro League. And I'm not saying this arrogantly or putting the league down. I think it is getting stronger, and that was proved in the Club World Cup. But in our position right now as football fans and clubs and fans of clubs across England right now, or even Europe to that matter, when someone goes to the Saudi Pro League, all we care about is how much money's coming the other way and how much we've got out of jail with, because somebody is willing to pay this player an absolute fortune and take him off our books and give us some actual profit when it looked like the deals were always going to be dead in the water. That I think is the biggest thing to take from this. I think it's going to be I think there is going to be a bid coming. And I'm only saying this because it was strange that his agent came out and said what he said. And Antony moving on gives us Benjamin Cesco. They are linked. Both of these deals are linked together. And I think they do make a difference with them both being at this time. United needing to make room. United needing to make money. And Saudi's all of a sudden in for Antony. It just opens up the avenue for Manchester United. That on top of the 21 million we've already sold in terms of add-ons and penalties like we've discussed before for other players. Anything on top of that for Antony, United there have got a good solid down payment there for Benjamin Sesko. It depends if they wanted to spend all of that money on the striker. Like we said, there is still the opportunity for the goalkeeper to leave Manchester United, and we could bring another goalkeeper in, that being Bayende this morning, him leaving, and obviously Sanil Ammons coming in. But yeah, it is going to be a bit of a mad shakedown going into this last few weeks of the window, and I am looking more optimistically at it now with the news that's coming out, especially around the Antony situation, that we might actually have a realistic bid come in for Antony. That, I think, is big on its own, and I think is definitely room for encouragement, and I think for United fans to be positive that we can get some deals done and get these players out of the door. Let's get into some more of the comments section on this as well. Antony out, Benjamin Sesko in. Putting them together, good business for Manchester United, everybody. Get into the chat, let's have a chat and talk to me about it. Lucas, he had to be in the money if it was right. As for the replacement, we have been looking for a few younger players and a stop-gap in case. We're also happy to keep Watkins. That might be a Villa player. Actually looking, a Villa fan, sorry, looking in on the show there. Good to see. At the same time, Cesco likes stability, and he can't get that with United. Manchester United changed 7 coaches in 7 years. He likes stability. This is one of the resisting points for Cesco. Look, you can only sell him on a project, though. If you're backing Ruben Amorim and you're going to him and talking there, look, stability is a man that builds pathways. That's what he was brought into Europe's main leagues with, and that was Christopher Vivel. Manchester United have a structure. And that is more stability now. And I think that's reliability in how Manchester United are going to move forward. And if he's worried about that, I don't think he's going to have a situation where he's worried about Manchester United's stability going forward, because we have now put that structure in place. So, again, I disagree in a way. I don't think that is a stumbling point for Man United. I think that is now turned into a plus point and an actual sell for United, that we have got the right people operating at the football club. And, oh, God's sake, 1-0 Spain. Oh, well, Lionesses at it again. Never mind. We'll keep an eye on the scores as well. But, yes, we are, like 26 minutes in or something like that. And England are 1-0 down. All to do. They aren't for sale, question mark, laugh out loud. You're easily drawn away from that phrase. They say that on purpose so they get good offers. I don't know if you're talking to me there, Petro. You might be talking to someone else, but we'll see. If it is to me, then just give me a little bit more context on it, buddy. Any major journalist reporting El NASSR interest in Antony? Any major journalist? Well, Santiano, who is very well respected, was the one that broke this first, and I think that on top of a few other Saudi Pro League journalists as well now have also been talking about it. I said at the top of the show I wanted to see someone like Ben Jacobs, who he's very well connected with the Saudi Pro League. I wanted to see someone like him come out and actually say that Manchester United are linked to selling Antony to El NASSR. I think that would be the ideal scenario for Manchester United anyway. Any update on Sancho to Juve deal? None whatsoever. They're just confirming, Mark, there that England are losing 1-0 to Spain in the Euros final. A successful team has a mix of age, experience, youth. I understand the concern per Casemiro experience, but neither Watkins nor Martinez is the same. It really depends on what the short-term goals are. Yeah, blend, mix. It's exactly what Manchester United need, and I think we have got it at this football club. I do. I think Manchester United have actually got plenty of it. Just checking through the other news as well. While we're on, I'm making sure that you're up to date as well. There are some smaller stories flying around as well. One that Manchester United are interested in Galatasaray midfielder Gabriel Sara. That's been out before, to be honest, and there's been a link before from Manchester United with that one. There is also a report going around, and this has come from Caught Offside and their journalist, that Alexander Mitrovic has been linked with a move back to the Premier League, and multiple clubs are keen on securing his signature. Mitrovic is not only on the radar of Manchester United, but also Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur. The Cesco situation is developing from the Newcastle side of things as well, by the way, because of what looks like a complete breakdown with the Johan Wieser transfer offer that's gone in to Brentford from Newcastle. It really doesn't look like that's now happening. That's going to happen. And that, I think, is a worry because it pushes Newcastle into more of our targets as well. And obviously, Sesko, Mitrovic, Newcastle look like they're in exactly the same boat as Manchester United right now, desperate for a striker. I think the writing's on the wall. We touched on it on Football Talks earlier on this morning as well when we did the show on there. And we was talking about how, of course, like Newcastle would be interested in Benjamin Sesko because they know that Liverpool are secretly talking to the likes of Alexander Isak as well at the moment. Arne Slot apparently had a 2-hour, 47-minute Zoom call, according to David Ornstein, with Alexander Isak. It's tapping up in it, in a way. It does sound it. I said that on the show earlier on, but we know that there's plenty of clubs out there. And again, it just makes it focus in on the Antony deal. If we can get that done and get it over the line quickly, then Man United can move forward with haste and make their signings in other areas where needed. And I think that is probably the single most important thing right now, to try and get these players in before we actually lose them to other football clubs, because there are a lot of teams that are after strikers right now, and that, I think, is the crucial thing to remember. Another story that did come out earlier on from Rich Fay is that Manchester United goalkeeper Radek Vitek has agreed to join Bristol City on loan for the forthcoming season. Straight back in and straight back out for Vitek. He won't be featuring at all for Manchester United again this season. Let's get into the comment section on the striker side of things. Would you take Alexander Mitrovic if the offer came around? Say, for instance, Benjamin Sesko didn't happen, and you had to look around, you had to make a deal, make something happen. He was willing to take a pay cut. Would you take Alexander Mitrovic back in at Manchester United into the Premier League? Is that something that you would do, everybody? Let me know. Get into the comment section. Peter says, Adam, my daughter Faith was so happy to say hi on the Big Up and made her day. You are a down-to-earth guy and make people at ease to come and chat without getting a backlash with another show we know. Thank you for that, Peter. Love comments like that, buddy. Really appreciate that, and I hope you had a great day with your daughter as well. And I hope she did enjoy getting her name read out. No to Mitrovic, no to Mitrovic, no to Mitrovic so far. And not many people liking the Mitrovic deal. I think he's a good player. I think he'd do well at Man United. I do. But, again, I am aware that we do need to make the right calls here with these transfers. We need to make sure that this player is actually going to fit at Manchester United as well as fitting into the system. Because, yeah, he has to have the right temperament and attitude. He has to fit in with the club. And like Ruben said, the environment around Manchester United right now, the players that want to be there, that's the difference right now for this football club. And that's what's going to take this team forward. The understanding of what's necessary to be a Manchester United player. That's always there, isn't it, at the forefront of anything going on. I'd be ecstatic if we got Cesco, but don't think we will. Striker. I don't think we'll get a striker, I think Jonathan was supposed to say there. We should keep Rasmus. He just needs psychology attention for his confidence. I mean, Rasmus, a few people got a little bit carried away with Rasmus's performance last night. I think that was a definite, a better performance, but still nothing to really get too excited about. Just a little bit better. That's all I would say on that one. But yes, anyway, that pretty much does sum up the news. I wanted to do a quick fire show. Like I said, I'm going to get down and watch the England final. But that is the latest news flying around right now, everybody. So please do drop your comments into the comment section below and let me know what you think. If anything else does break later, I will be back to go over it again. It's just a weird one. With that much going on, I didn't know when to put the live show out today, but wanted to come back and touch base with you all anyway and fill you in on what's actually going on. But they're the big two stories. NASSR coming in for Manchester United's Antony, and United want 50 million. Can we get the maximum out of Antony and get this deal over the line? And Benjamin Cesco would prefer a move to Manchester United over Newcastle. So that's another story that is also out there right now. Please give the video a like on the way out. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts in the comment section as well. It's all free and it all helps the channel massively. So thank you again if you have done already. The link in the live chat is for the OK jerseys and retro training kits that I've got on right now. If you love this shirt and love more like it, hit that link in the live chat or in the description on OK jerseys. Fill your boots off that. Really cheap, really great deals, and really good quality as well. Get into it, everybody. And I will see you all later on if anything breaks. If not, I'll be back in the morning. But enjoy your evening. And yeah, let's see what this next week brings us here in terms of Man United transfers. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, mods. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, everybody.